And a good morning. This is the Morning Constitution. I am your host, Joel Hawksley, and it's wonderful to have started the day this Thursday with you at the Oxford, the Sports Pub, and Secret Society. So, if you're following along and you're doing it in order, you would know that the last 3 weeks I've been talking about the United States constitutional amendments. So, your your show today will be on the Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution. It's one of 10 amendments that make up the Bill of Rights. It was ratified on December 15th, 1791. I wasn't born then, but that is my birthday, so that's how I remember that date because I'm terrible with dates. But 1791, on the day I celebrate 56 this year. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm getting there. Oh, I do get on the senior menu at Denny's now. So, and it provides important protections for the privacy and security of individuals from unreasonable search and seizure by the government. So, if you have ever been Mirandized, and if I'm saying a word that you don't know, you are probably, just learning now in school, because I do believe most people understand what the Miranda rights are all about. Well, the Fourth Amendment is the amendment that gives you those moments where you say, I have a right to privacy. Well, you don't have a right to privacy, but when we read this, you'll see why you do say that and why the Supreme Court has given you that right. So the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizure shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So the amendment places restrictions on the power of law enforcement. So, and other government agencies to search and seizure. But there are agencies that can get away with a lot of things because we pushed this amendment with social services. So it includes home, vehicle, and other possessions without a warrant and probable cause. The Fourth Amendment also requires that any warrant must be specific in describing the place to be searched and the things to be seized. In short, the Fourth Amendment is a crucial protection against arbitrary government intrusion into the private lives of individuals, and it is a cornerstone of the American legal system. So when you look at all those lawyers out there and you start to think of what are they doing? Why do they do these things? Why do they do things a certain way? Everybody's a professional nowadays because everyone has watched CSI. You all know how to solve crimes. You all out there just knowing the rules. When somebody pulls you over, you want to now play games with the police officers. I see your TikTok videos. I see the hard time that people are trying to give these police officers when I don't think we're really being particular to the law. So in your videos, I'm the guy over there going, wrong answer. What state is this in? What's this? What's that? Because there's all kinds of rules. But when you're stopped in your car, you are not technically arrested. You are not under apprehension. Like these different things that I keep hearing. So you are detained. Detaining has nothing to do with what comes next. Now, nice and a nice traffic stop goes, hey, I got pulled over. if the cop asks you, do you know why you got pulled over? You know you're in trouble because that's just instigation, right? If the cop says that, then they are not they're not truly established in effective communication because you don't know why they pull you. You can assume, and then all of a sudden you start rattling off, oh, well, I was speeding, or that's a confession, guys. That's a confession, and that's not what law enforcement are out trying to do. So yeah, I know you've all seen it. You maybe even have experienced it, but the one thing taught as an MP was we never ask that question. There's no reason to ask that question because all of a sudden you have somebody who's mad at you because you stopped them, but now they're mad at you because you're treating them like they're stupid. Like, just get to it. Like, ask me for my registration, ask me for my driver's license, ask me for the things you know that I have to provide. Or if you're smart, you already have that shit together and you're ready and you're prepared because you know what? You're all going to get pulled over someday for something. It could be something stupid, but most of the time you drive away safely. You drive away with either a ticket, a warning, or nothing. Sometimes you don't have anything at all. Now that's not right because you should have at least a receipt. So make them write you a warning if they're going to send you on your way, because that is your time and you need to be able to say, hey, I was detained. This is why I'm late. This is a good excuse. I would take that excuse every time. So, but the Fourth Amendment protects you from unlawful search and seizure. It protects you from those allegations that aren't supported. You say, hey, what do you mean innocent until proven guilty? Well, you have to prove I'm guilty, but you have to have probable cause. You have to have a reason to want to search me. So we start looking at some of the things that our government has done. And yes, have they broken this rule? Yes, we've seen it. It goes to the Supreme Court. Yes. They're always looking. They're always trying to find out how far they can push themselves. Like, if I can get on your telephone and listen to your conversation, why? That's so protecting. I can protect our country from terrorism. Well, yes, but you do have a Fourth Amendment in the United States, and that because of the Patriot Act, you now take fear and you now attack the Fourth Amendment with this NSA search of our telephone. Even if it's a keyword, it's still a search and it's still your privacy. Your privacy. And don't let them take that away from you. But also don't be arrogant in the way you handle this. Now, you're in a situation where they need to find out if you were involved in something. Now, whether you are or not, that's not the point here. The point is they have an idea. They think that you have done something. They have some type of probable cause to say, this guy has slept with this woman for 6 years and she's now dead in her home, even though they haven't been together for 3. You still get suspicion. Even though you haven't been with her for 3 years, you still could be under suspicion because of some kind of restraining order, some kind of thing that's out there that makes you still connected. So I have to take that evidence, that probable cause, and say, look, he was sleeping with her for 6 years. They broke up and the breakup was bad. Here's the divorce document, the split documents, whatever is out there. Can we please go search his house? Now, that's reasonable search and seizure. I mean, they did the proper things. Now, you're going to feel like it's not proper because you haven't seen her in 3 years. At least that's the case. You haven't seen her. There's no evidence, right? They're going to come in, they're going to search, they're not going to find anything, but if they find her earlobe in under your pillow, then I guess they were right. Or damn close. But yeah, the Fourth Amendment it's fun, but it's fun to look at because it's just we play games with it all the time in society, but we don't realize how important it is. Now, you have the Fourth Amendment, and when we get into the Fifth Amendment, everybody loves the Fifth Amendment. Automatically use the Fifth Amendment, you're guilty, right? Well, you got to get to the Fifth Amendment. So the Fourth Amendment is that protection to keep you away from having self-incrimination. So again, if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you want to know more about this, read, learn, understand, and be equipped, but don't be a dick. Okay? Because you can be a dick with this right when you don't even have to. If you get pulled over and they want to check your trunk, just say, yes, I prefer not to. Now, if they want to get a search warrant and they want to go through all that to get it open, they're not going to. But if that gives them suspicion, let it be suspicion. But just politely say, I prefer not to. I just want to get through the traffic stop. I just want to be done. Well, if you step out of the car, anything within your reach, they can search. Listen about this. I'm going to say the plain sight doctrine. This is one thing that everybody doesn't get right. Plain sight doctrine. If I see it, I don't have to have a warrant to arrest you. Because if I see your marijuana sitting on your dashboard, if I see marijuana on your console, if I see something that is not legal in your car, if it is visible, it's plain sight doctrine. Plain and simple. Sorry, guys. Doesn't need a search and seizure. It's not, oh, well, he had no right. He had no probable cause. He didn't need probable cause. He needed probable cause to pull you over, but that's simple. Your tag could be out of date. You could have not used a signal. There's so many laws that there's a reason I can pull you over. I'm going to find something. But if I see it, I'm pulling you over because guess what? I don't need anything more than the fact that I saw it. I want to check it out a little bit more. I look at it and I see it. You saw it out the window. Doesn't matter. I saw it. So search and seizure is clearly your right. They have to, the burden is on the government. Love these amendments because the burden is on the government, not on you. But if you're arrested, it's not a simple thing and it will be a painful situation. So let's all be polite. Let's do the right things. Let's try to not get in those situations. But when we are, let's be as polite as possible and kindly, no, sir, I prefer not to. Can I look in your glove compartment? No, I didn't need to open my glove compartment because my registration's up here. If you have a concealed weapons permit and you're supposed to identify that, just say, hey, when I open some of these compartments, I do have a weapon in the vehicle. So I want you to be aware. So that's my show for today. The Fourth Amendment is cut and dry. It's a really simple one when you think about it, but it's very complicated. It is a Supreme Court. There's so many Supreme Court decisions that use the Fourth Amendment in conjunction with others to give you absolutely the privacy clause that I mentioned at the beginning. Thank you very much. This has been the Morning Constitution. And please make sure that you know your rights